myself Priyanka Joshi, your science teacher. So students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. So students, we have started chapter 7, that is weather, climate and adaptation of animals to climate. So in our previous video lecture, we have discussed about the topic weather. In that we have discussed what is a weather. So please have a quick revision of the previous video lecture. So in that we have discussed about the weather. Now weather, what is weather? How you are define the term weather? Students, in your daily life, you see there is a changes in our atmosphere. At afternoon there is a heavy sunny, okay, and after some time the clouds are appear, and after some time there is a heavy rain. So this is the change in our atmosphere, that is known as the weather, and it is due to the changes in the elements of the atmosphere or elements of the weather. Now what are the elements of the weather? Temperature, humidity, wind speed, rainfall, etc. These are the elements on which our weather is totally dependent. When the changes takes place in these elements, so the changes automatically takes place in weather also. Clear? And we measure the changes with the help of the maximum and the minimum thermometer. Okay, the changes in the temperature. So students, there is another topic, that is the climate. So what do you mean by the climate? Climate and weather. There is a little bit difference between these two topics. Students, weather is a short term changes. Clear? At afternoon maybe sun is there, and after some time in evening time the clouds are appear, and at night maybe there is a heavy rainfall. So this is a changes in the weather in a short period of time. So this is known as weather. Clear? In a weather there is a day-to-day change. Clear? Week-to-week change, month-to-month change. There is a change in 3 or 5 days. Okay, so this is a short period of time. This is known as weather. Whereas in climate there is a long-term changes. It may takes years of years. Clear? So students, the climate is long-term change. Okay, the climate term is indicates there is a long-term condition of the environment of the particular place. Clear? So here, when suppose take the example, there is some place where there is a hot in maximum time. Clear? So that place is known as hot in climate, and when there is raining also, heavy rainfall also, so we can say the climate of that particular place is hot and wet. Clear? If there is some place where the permanently in maximum cases there is a cold, so we can say the climate of that particular place is cold climate. In this way we define the climate of a particular place. Clear, students? So we can say this also, the elements which are of weather, they are also the same elements of the climate also. Clear, student? So in climate also there is a change in temperature, there is a change in humidity, change in rainfall, wind speed. They are the elements of the climate also. If there is a change in these elements, so the climate of a particular also change. But the difference is, in the case of weather there is a short term change, whereas in climate there is a long term change. Clear students? अगर वहाँ गर्मी पड़ रही है, समर डेज चल रहे हैं, तो वो सालों साल तक गर्मी पड़ेगी. Clear? Years to years. Clear students? अब यहाँ क्या है, afternoon it's very hot, and in evening time we feel comfortable, at night we feel cool. So here in the case of weather is a short term changes, whereas in climate there is a long term changes. अगर कहीं snowfall हो रहा है तो वहाँ क्या है, सालों साल तक snowfall हो रहा है. Clear? So this is the little change between the weather and the climate. Here you can see in this tables also. Okay, so the climatic condition at two places are shown here. In India, the mean temperature for a given month is found in two steps. Clear? So the first place is the Srinagar, which is at Jammu and Kashmir, and the second one is Trivandrum, that is in Kerala. Clear? Here you can see how much changes in their temperature and the rainfall. You can see the tables. So the average temperature recorded during the month. This is the average temperature which is recorded during the month. So the two places that are Srinagar and Jammu Kashmir are here. So we see in the table there is a difference of climate of Jammu Kashmir and the Kerala. Okay, so Kerala is very hot and wet in comparison to Jammu and Kashmir, which has moderately hot and wet climate for a part of the year. Similarly, there are such places also of western Ghats of India, for example Rajasthan, will also show that the temperature is high during most of the part of the year. ठीक है, maximum वहाँ का जो temperature है high है, so it means the climate of that region is hot. But during winter, which lasts only for a few months, the temperature is quite low. This region receives very little rainfall, and this is typical desert climate. So it is hot and dry. ठीक है, तो desert का climate हम कैसे बताएंगे? That is the hot and dry climate. So in this way we can define the climate of a particular place. Next topic is adaptation. Now, what is adaptation? Adaptation is the capability of living organisms to adjust themselves according to their surroundings. Clear? Living organisms adapt themselves in conditions in environment against that is favorable to him or her. Okay students, so we have to adapt according to the surrounding. This means is the adaptation. Clear? So you can define adaptation as adjustment also. Adjustment with respects to surrounding. Clear? With respects to surroundings. So in your chapter there is animal adaptation, adaptation of animals to climate. As we have discussed about the climates, there are some regions which have the hot climate and which have the cold climates, but the animals are present in both the climates. In hot climates also the animals are present, and in cold climate also. So how they live there? So for their adaptation, for their survival, they have the specific features. Clear? They have the specific features and they have and their the features and the habitat. So these things are helping to a living organisms in the survival of such type of environment which is unfavorable to them. Clear, student? So adaptation simply means, for suppose you can take the example, the animals which are found in the cold regions, they have different body structure, they have some special features on their body, and the animals which are present, or you can say plants also, they are different features. Clear? So they help them in their adaptation. Suppose simply take example of the trees which you have seen around yourself. They have well defined leaves, branches, tall enough, clear, and the roots, branches, fruiting, flowers, all are parts of that plant. But the plants that are present in the desert, they do not have the well defined leaves. They do not form the structure of leaf. डेजर्ट के प्लांट में आपने देखा होगा उसमें पत्ते होते ही नहीं है. Why? Because the leaf does the process of transpiration. Clear? leaf से क्या होता है? Transpiration होता है. And transpiration does the loss of water. अगर transpiration होगा तो क्या है? plant से water loss होगा. So for reducing the transpiration rate को कम करने के लिए या transpiration ना हो, so the desert plant does not have the root, does not have the leaves. Clear? And the structure of desert plant in summer, they have mostly the cactus are found in the desert. Clear? And you have seen their body structure is like this. There are some other cactus, and all together spines are present in their body surface. So why these spines are present? To reduce the transpiration rate. Clear? So the broad palm leaves are not present in the desert plant. So this is a kind of adaptation. Maximum spines are present in. No true root, shoot and branches parts are present in this. Clear? So this is the simple examples and the difference between the plants of the desert and the other areas. Clear, student? So the adaptation helps us in our adjustment in our new surroundings. Clear? We have to adapt there according to that environment. Clear, students? So in the polar regions, the polar regions are altogether covered by the snow. There are also some animals are present, that are the polar bears, and the body structure of the polar bear is the features they have, they helps them to adapt in such environment. We are not able to survive in the polar regions. Clear? हम जाएंगे, हम वहाँ जाके survive नहीं कर पाएंगे. We have not such type of adaptations, which have not such type of features that the polar bears have. So now we are going to study about the regions of the polar regions, animals that penguins, polar bear that are present there, and which type of special features they have. Clear? And there are some birds who show the process of migration. When there is a unfavorable conditions for them, they migrate from that place to another place. Clear? Next word is migration. Migration means the movement. Clear? It is the movement, and it is the temporary movement. Temporary movement. When favorable conditions comes back, the animals return back to their places. You can simply take the example. If you have one house in your hill areas also, if your village is at Bhimtal or Nainital, so in June and in summer vacations, you prefer to go in that town. Okay, so on December and January you move, so you migrate to Haldwani. So this is the migration. The birds, there are so many birds which show the migration. They migrate when the unfavorable conditions are present. They left the place and return back and come back when favorable conditions return. Clear? So these are the terms, these are the habits. So how animals adjust to its climate? So the first thing is adaptation. Adaptation helps the animals in adjusting in the severe condition. Where there is a too much hot, the animals survive there. They have this special feature. And where there is too cold, the animals are also there. They survive them in that place. So they produce some special features. They have some special features which helps them to survive in a particular place. Clear? So the adaptation and the another thing is migration. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा severe condition आ जाती है, so most of the examples of the birds, they start migrating from that place. Clear? So these are the methods which helps the animals to survive in a particular place or to react according to the climate change. Polar regions, have you seen there is a no sunset for 6 months? Clear? And no sunrise. And no sun, and sun does not rise for 6 months also. So these are the changes. How animals can survive in that severe condition. Clear? So these are the changes that are known as through the help of the adaptation. That are the adaptations. Now students, with the help of the images, please understand how polar bears adapt themselves in a polar region where there is a totally ice. Clear? So see, this is the figure of the polar bear, and the adaptations of polar bear are, see in this figure, the body of the polar bear has totally covered with the fur, the white color fur. It has two thick layers of fur which prevent them from the cold. Clear? And these keep it warm themselves in cold weather. And have seen the white fur is not easily visible in the snowy white background. This prevents them from the scavengers, and it has a very strong sense of smell. It has a long curved and sharp claws that helps them to walk into the ice. It has a layer of fat under its skin. The fat insulates its body from cold and keeps it warm. Its predator and prey are unable to see it. How? Because the white color fur is present in their body, and the background is also white in color, so they helps them from the predators and prey. Clear? So these are the adaptations, the general adaptations in the polar bear. Clear? Now students, in today's lecture we have discussed about the climate and somewhat about the adaptation. What do you mean by the adaptation and the migration? The two terms we take in today's class, and the adaptation in the polar bears, how polar bears adapt themselves. So in our next video in a lecture, we are going to discuss about the adaptations of some other animals such as penguins, and the last topic of your chapter, that is tropical rainforest. Clear, student? So this is all about today. Till that, take care of yourself. Thank you very much.